All right. Happy Saturday and good morning, everybody. Hope you all are doing well. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out with me today. We're going to start off by obviously saying hi to everybody, checking in with people, how things are going with you. Then we're going to go over, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the story. You guys know that I'm doing the stories talking about um, the various mint thefts or thefts that have happened in relation to numismatics. We're going to be going over one of those. And then we're going to have general chit chat. So if you have questions, you have things that you want to ask about, then we can go ahead and. So I'm going to pull up chat from the other vertical stream, get that all taken care of. Get this all set up and staged, and we're good to go. Good morning, Eric. How are you, sir?
Good morning. I'm wonderful. And you?
I am doing very well. I'm a little tired. Did my little, and that's how I feel about that series yesterday. Something I try not to do too much. But it drives people nuts to have a coin channel that talks about all sorts of different things.
But
But
it's your channel. Talk about whatever you feel like talking about.
well, there's certain times when discussions just have to happen,
Sure.
and there's different people who look at things ways. And if we want to grow as a people, we need to understand that even though we feel like we should be justified in some, kind of have to look. And
Absolutely.
so that's what the conversation was about. And it was just, hey, looking at where are you at? What are you doing? And what does it look like? What does it feel like? And why are you frustrated over something you're not really? How do those things occur? What's happening? So it was a good conversation. Um, had one person I had to very gently remove because it became a matter of um, I'm right, and they were speaking in um, statements instead of, well, from the way I see it, right? Instead of having a discussion, it's
Right.
uh, you're doing this, they do this, and it's like that's not how you have a conversation. So
Right.
I had to gently remove them. But all in all, it was a good conversation, and uh, things need to be said. We need to talk about this and remind people that your viewpoints are your own.
That's absolutely right. And people need to care a little less what other viewpoints are and care a little more what their own viewpoints are.
That's fact. But again, it's not just that. If you're going to have a discussion with somebody, you need to understand their side of the story.
That's right.
If you don't understand that side of the story, you're not having a conversation. And so it's important that the people understand that. So we just talked a little bit about that, and then again, like I said, my wife. I was trying to get her to come up. She eventually was like, "I don't feel well. I'm not doing this," and so she didn't come up. But we'll try to get her in there. I was really hopeful that she might come and have a conversation, and we could talk about how things were going and different things that have happened. Frosty's banhammer, bam. Um,
Mhm. Well, that's what I was saying after the ban happened. I'm sure there was a giant kaboom in chat.
yes and no. I was like, let's stop there. We've done enough. We can move forward. Um, But again, it's I'll let anybody talk in my channel. I don't
Sure.
care. Just be respectful. That's all I ask.
And
So,
that in society in general, that should be whether your opinion differs or not, just have respect for each other.
yeah,
No matter,
exactly. Exactly.
you know?
Yep. Let's have difference of opinion, and again, this kid, he's young. He's very young, inexperienced, and a good kid. Really really wants to learn, really wants to engage. Just handled it wrong. And
Yeah.
again, I was very clear. Look, I've nothing against the kid. Unfortunately, when you it's like arguing with your spouse,
Right.
right? When
You don't win.
you are saying, "You always do this." Oh, that's a bad thing to start off with, because now there's nowhere they can go but defensive, and you kill the conversation before you even have it, right? So, getting people to understand that, you have to say, "Well, from my standpoint, this is what I see." Well, from my viewpoint, this is what I see. Well, I was raised to believe this. I was raised to understand this. I was taught this. Because now we can talk about what it is that you know, what it is that you believe, what it is that you understand, versus you telling me that I'm wrong because your understanding of something may or may not align with mine.
Right.
Right. And so it's just a matter of giving somebody opportunity to learn. And hopefully that's what they took it as. Nobody got banned. They just got removed from the stream. That was all. No harm, no foul. Let's talk about. Actually, first, let me go say hi to everybody. Um, that's. Oh, it's because I'm in the wrong stream. I was like, why is this chat not moving? That's started. Dandy Dave, good morning. Siren, thank you so much for being there and for throwing that link over there in chat. I definitely appreciate you doing that. And then let's see who we got over here. We've got Vote for Pedro. What's up, Vote for Pedro? I was just showing Eric this. That's a nice little piece that Vote for Pedro sent me. A nice hand custom one. Uh, nice Damascus blade.
Now,
I've
did he
been
make it or did he
no,
buy it?
he got it and sent it to me as a kind of a again the collectibles type thing of the channel. Remember, it used to be
Sure.
coins and collectibles. So um
It probably still is. I mean, I do collectible stuff too.
yeah, it's neat, but it's a really cool piece. So I've been taking time to refine the edge and get it all cleaned up, and I'm almost to the point where I can cut paper without it being too much. Uh, so what's going on, Miss Coin Crew? How are you? Let's see. Vote for Pedro. Who's here? Oh, check this out. Do. She is reversing her camera. I didn't think you were coming up, Paula.
I wasn't, but I've been I've been alone for a week, so I'm feeling
Well, you're not
better.
alone anymore.
I know, no, I'm feeling alive, so I want to come up and join my friends.
You were not alone.
Back in the land of the living. Back in the land of the living.
Well, you got here just in time because we're going to do story time. And I want to ask you guys if you are familiar with this. Does this look familiar to you all? Have you seen this before?
Sergeant Preston? That was a joke. I guess I'm too old. Nobody knows who
Oh,
Sergeant Preston is.
the old RCMP
Yep.
variety
Uh,
show?
yep. The one guy with the on the one side that looks like Sergeant Preston to me. I
Maybe
guess
by
they,
design.
I guess they could both be Sergeant Preston in this day and age.
Well, this is the Canadian gold maple. This was created in uh, 20 or 2007. At the time of its minting, it was the Guinness Book of World Records largest gold coin, 99999. You'll see there's five nines, not four there. And it was 100 kilograms, about 330 pounds. And the reason that we're going to talk about this one this morning is because you guys know we talk about mint thefts or things that happen within numismatics. And this one was kind of a story. Again, most of these end up being either inside information, inside help. Um, but this was one of those where there was a coordinated discussion with somebody who was working security and two cousins who concocted the plan to steal this from a museum in Berlin. Now, this happened in 2017. And the two people, uh, broke in. They had a skateboard and an axe, used the skateboard, one to kind of break a window. They climbed up through a second story window. Obviously, that window had been left open or was uh, basically primed for entry, if you will, by the person that worked on the inside. And they used an axe to beat the glass up, and then on the skateboard, wrap this thing up and use the skateboard to haul it away. It didn't take long for the investigators to kind of figure out who they were. One of the guys who thought that he was pretty smart wore a fairly rare Armani jacket. And because of that jacket, they were really easily able to go back and look at purchase histories and find out kind of who they were. And then when they got the search warrant, they went in to retrieve the coin and find out if the stuff was there. They found fragments of gold, fragments and shards of glass that matched the glass casing that this thing was in, but they never found the gold. And so they started going through things like social media, checking their history on browsers, and there was always this assertion that this thing immediately got melted down. Like this thing went straight to wherever they were cutting it or melting it down. They had buyers on standby. They've never recovered any of this. Well, when they were going through this, the person, the guard you were referencing, um, what's his name? The guy on the left here,
Sergeant Preston.
Sergeant Preston. We're just going to say Sergeant Preston, even though it's not him. Was fined 108,000 pounds for yeah, fancy clothes to commit a robbery. Yeah, it's insane, right? Um, but he was fined 108,000 pounds, and when asked why that amount of money, they said, "Well, because that's what he was given. That's what they paid him to do that." So, he had to spend some time in jail, obviously lost his, ability to perform any kind of security function, um, with anything related to any kind of museum or mint. Again, we're talking about the royal mint, again, so you're talking about there being royal decree and things of that that had to happen. But the 2 cousins that actually stole the coin, um, were charged 3.3 million pounds apiece, which was the cost of the coin. So they both had to pay retribution to the full amount of the coin. Even though they melted it and probably only got half each, they had to pay the full restitution of the coin. Now, that was in 2017. So I pulled up, whoops, that's not what I do. Um, sorry. Okay, let me get back to that. Um, change. Oh, did I just close? I just browser. That's low. I just closed the window that had the thing that I wanted to show you. I've got to go find it. But anyway, they were never able to recover the gold. But I pulled up the gold price. Here we go. I've got it back open. Had to go back in and grab this. Pull this back up. Went and pulled the spot price. So if we come down here to 2017, and we see that during that time frame, gold was about $1,200 an ounce. So you're talking about a $4 million coin in 2017, and silver's gone up, or gold's gone up 3 times that amount. So you're talking about $12 million coin now. Now a lot of people think that's probably one of the most expensive coins, and it's not even close. Um, the God's Double Eagle, the 1933, is $18 million. And that's one of the highest ones sold, but it's not actually one of the most expensive coins. One of the most expensive coins that has ever been created was created at the time of Queen Elizabeth's death, and it's this one right here. Now, this thing I did a story on this when it was first being developed and released. This thing is quite amazing. There are over 650 diamonds in this particular coin. They were all individually hand set by a team of jewelers. On the obverse, you see here the queen's effigy, and you see her stuff. And then around the edge and then around the rim are the queen's statements. And then these are the 12 uh, like integrity elements. I can't remember exactly what they're called, but these are the queen's virtues. That's what these are, the virtue coins. And these are both, I think they're, but I want to say they're either 2 ounces or 5 ounces in this. And then, of course, you have that center core. Now, this is again a 4/9 fine coin. So everything under, including the bezelment of the diamonds, is all gold. It's just a fabulous piece. A couple years ago when she died, it was estimated about 23 million. And with the increase of gold, we're looking at almost 30. Oh, I got to sneeze. Sorry. Sorry about that.
Bless you.
But a fabulous little piece. And again, I love the stories. So that one was just the one that I kind of wanted to talk about today. So I have a question for chat. The largest gold coin in 2017 was that one. Does anybody know what the actual largest gold coin is now? You guys can Google it if you need to. So, well, here's the thing. So that 100-ounce gold bar, there were 5 of them, and they were bought by private owners. So they weren't. This was on lend by a private person. So there were 5 people who actually bought those coins. And so that was a private ownership piece. It wasn't just sitting there. It was on lend to that museum. Whereas that princess one or the queen's one was totally different because that particular one was um, designed specifically for her passing, right? So that was the
Pedro gonna
intent of
wear
that
it
one.
as a necklace.
Again,
Pedro's gonna wear it as a necklace.
how would you do that? That's
You'd have to be built like Mr. T.
Oh my gosh.
Did you imagine the chain you'd have to put that on?
Yeah,
Right?
I would pity the fool that had to wear that.
That's gonna
Pity the
cause an
fool.
awful crick in your neck.
Oh, there's such a crick in the neck. That's
Such a crick.
Aladdin, yes. So yeah, dang rich people. Yeah, I can imagine having a coin that weighed 331 pounds, let alone it being gold. But I like those kind of things. And so as I kind of continue to pull up bank heists and bank robberies and do those kinds of stories and the mint thefts and the people who've stolen things from the mints or things that are tied to the mint. Again, these are just connections to the numismatic history of things. And it's a lot of fun to have those discussions. Hopefully you guys like that kind of stuff. We'll continue to kick off Saturday mornings with stories like that if that's Eric, remember the picture that I showed you? He replied back with a couple smiley faces. He thought that was
Okay.
um so how's everybody doing? The kangaroo, yeah, Rockzilla, boom. That's it. So 1,100 kilos. The Canadian king or the Australian kangaroo is now the largest gold coin, and that thing is massive, absolutely massive. 1,100 kilos. How in the world would you
What
mint
would you
that?
do with something like that?
Put it
Look
on
look at
display.
it,
Sell
look
it.
at it, touch it, call it George.
Pet
Yeah.
it, and then I'd sell it.
Yeah, you know what? I would just like the shavings from when they were cleaning it up.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's unreal. And again, I understand, putting stuff together. You know
It's
what
a
I would
lot.
really like to have? I would like to have like the nation's smallest gold coins. That would be a fun collection to have, because
This
there are some of those that are pretty bad. Miss Coin Crew sending healing prayers to Ida. Yeah, she sounded really bad the other day.
I was wondering where her stream was. I looked for it the other day.
She got hit with COVID, so
I'll
um,
tell you, the strain of COVID that's going around is no joke right now.
it is no joke. That is for sure.
yeah. So make sure you're sending your well wishes and stuff over to Ida. What is my next goal with coin collecting? I am working on two different things. Had a conversation with a couple different people regarding that just yesterday, as a matter of fact. I am upgrading my typeset book. That's kind of one of the things that I'm doing. One of those is going to be this coin right here. This is a really, really, really nice 19 Barber
Right.
time. The details on this are phenomenal. Got great luster, great color, and so I'm upgrading those. I'm waiting for
Uh-oh.
one more thing to come. Oh, doctor said it was the new one. Yeah, that's not good. Um,
Hello?
huh?
Hello.
Say what?
Something happened to your sound on your stream.
Oh, I
Mm,
heard him.
what do you
Is
mean
he not
something
hearing on?
happened? Did it go down? Did it go up? What happened?
It's like maybe it's just me. Is it me, people in chat?
Yeah, I hear you.
No, I know you can hear me.
No, I hear him too.
I know. It's really I don't know.
Not sure. Does it
Uh,
sound robotic?
no, it just sounds really low.
Mm, my volume max is at 74 and I'm peaking in yellow,
Okay,
so
maybe it's me.
might be you. Yeah, last night there were some people saying because I just turned it up and now I'm peaking in the red, so probably a little hot for some people. Maybe I turned away from the microphone. I'm not sure, but I'm sitting at about 75% volume, so shouldn't be low.
Okay, maybe it's me. Okay, let me turn mine up then.
But so yeah, I'm working on my typeset book, and then I'm also working on upgrading peace dollars. So my peace dollar book is the other thing that I'm kind of putting together. Now, one thing I'm doing to pay for it is I have pulled a lot of coins out that I have, whether they are in books that are duplicates or whether they are collectible items that I don't know why I bought them. Maybe I bought them at the beginning and I was just trying to buy everything. Um, so I'm going through a lot of that kind of stuff and getting rid of the stuff that is no, not necessarily value to me, but it's not necessarily something that um, I really kind of want to have. So I'm going through all of those and I'm working some trades with some to upgrade some of my pieces by utilizing those because they can use those in their shops or online auctions or whatever. That's what I'm doing. What about you, Paula and Eric? What are you guys doing as far as collection or whatever?
Well, not being responsible. Actually, a little more responsible. Just because I've been hit with some household bills that are making it less easy for me to go out and be irresponsible. Um, but that's what I'm doing this week. I am going to sort through this stuff and try to get a handle on some of it, anyways. I mean, I've got 200 boxes to go through, like 2 by 2 boxes.
Well, your accomplishment was that you cleaned off your desk.
That's the main accomplishment. Clean off the desk, but I do plan on going through because we did find a really good coin in one of the roll reveals, and I know that I've got 60 more rolls of that certain date in a box somewhere that I've made a bed frame out of. I'm going to try and find that box too.
What about you, Paula? What are you setting aside for?
Um, right now I'm not really setting aside for much. I'm actually going to be going to a coin show today. Probably
Yay.
shouldn't, but I am. Grants Pass, um, my little town of Grants Pass is having a little coin show. It's usually pretty good. West Coast Coins is there coming. I don't know if Oregon Stacker will be. He usually comes down for it. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna head over there and pass out some of my business cards and some swag and maybe do a little cherry picking if I feel up to it.
Do
I'll
it.
probably take one of my grandkids.
That'll probably do your psyche some well too.
Yeah, I need my psyche needs it.
Yep. Um, Rockzilla, I was thinking about starting a typeset album. I highly recommend it. The reason isn't because, um, again, I don't sell stuff, right? I am about the history, collecting coins, looking at variety. If you're looking at a good way to collect a number of coins where you can stay on task and on target, a typeset book is a great thing to do. Or collect a certain run, like the Peace Dollars or the Ike Dollars or something like that. Whatever you fancy, whatever you like. Um, it's very difficult. Miss Coin Crew said something a little while ago, the changing goals, right? And it's important to look at and assess kind of where you are in certain. I've talked recently about looking at buying grades. Everybody's like, well, if you're going to stack, or if you're, excuse me, if you're going to collect coins um, as a numismatist, you should be collecting MS-65 and or better, right? And it's like, well, that's a great theory.
I disagree
Uh,
with that.
Why? Yeah, I don't
yeah,
understand that.
I don't think that that's a wise strategy. Now, I understand that there was always an old adage that MS-65 and above is, that's when you get into the nicer
The gem
grades
coin.
and stuff like that, better coins, right? But my whole thought about this is if you're collecting a set, you're never going to be able to afford some of those coins in MS-65 ever. Um,
Well, and I've talked about it many times, and anybody who's talked to me or known me for any amount of time knows what my favorite grade is because
Uh-huh.
it offers the best coin at the most affordable price,
yeah.
and that's an AU58. You're getting a problem-free coin pretty much, that may have a little bit of rub or something that keeps it out of mint state, and usually they're nicer coins than the lower mint state grade.
Well, and I was just going to say an AU58 is usually a better looking coin than an MS61 or an
Yep.
MS60 coin.
Yeah, and this is, again, you look at the barber, that's exactly what, know.
I suggest making attainable goals. Don't set your goals too
And
high, make them
I
attainable.
my argument on the MS65 is
I have a lot
depending on what your motivation is, um, most coins, I would say absolutely don't even worry about buying graded coins.
yeah, exactly.
Uh, it has to be, I mean, if you're looking for something for monetary investment and you can afford a 1909 SVDB and MS65 red, do it because that coin is going to be probably a decent investment, not a great investment, but it shouldn't go down in value. That's the best way of putting it. It should go up in value with time. Uh, but there's always caveats to that. You know, they could discover a whole vault full. What was that, 1903 or something like that? Morgan,
Mhm.
like 12 in existence, and then they find like thousands of them, and then they're in the GSA horde, and they're all over the place.
Yeah, I reference that quite frequently. And again, you never know when something like that is gonna happen. You never know when you're gonna find somebody, and you and Chuck talked about this, and I can't remember what coin it was, um, where they passed and they had like 50 of them or some ungodly number of this quote unquote rare coin. I can't remember what cent it was, some sort of variety. And I'll have to go back and ask Chuck about
Yeah,
that.
I'm not sure.
Um, but again, we talk about
Well, look at the 70S double die, Lincoln Cent. It was like really rare 20 years ago, and then all of a sudden they found a ton of them.
maybe that's the coin we're talking. Maybe that's the
Yeah, I
coin you
think
guys are
Larry
talking about.
Briggs found
Yeah,
15 of them in a roll.
yeah. So,
You
but
talking
they
about
all
the
came. They
proof?
all came from the same guy, didn't they?
Are you
They
talking
all
about the proof, Eric?
no, no, business strike double die.
I know. Okay,
Basically,
you're not talking about the large over small.
no. Yeah,
Or
it's a beautiful
small
double
over big.
die. Uh, Almost as nice as the 69S.
Yeah, but they all came from it. Then there were a couple of different roles, but they
Yes.
all came from the same person.
Yeah.
And they were just sitting on them.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
you
we went
never
to the
know
fun
when that's
show.
going to happen.
Went to the fun
So
show, and we went to his table, and he's like got them all up there for big money, and it's like, Brian looks at me and he says, "Why would somebody pay that now that they know that there's like tons of them now?"
Flood the market, yeah.
Yeah, and
well,
it ultimately did. The coin was back in the day a $50,000 coin, and I think it's down way down now. I think it's down into the single thousands, single digit thousands. Let me look.
Large over small. Large over
so
small.
let's look at a couple of different things in chat real quick while we do this. Vote for Pedro. He says, I've been trying to organize my stack, make it easier for my kids after I pass. Okay, so first off, kudos to you, right? Make sure you set those things aside, educate them on what you have, understand what's in your collection. Really good thing to do. Tiger Stacker has a sheet, and what he calls the death letter that tells him exactly what to talk about, where to go, um, where the things are located, gives all the pertinent contact information. Really great idea. So kudos to you for that. But he says something really important. He had far too many premium items that would have a hard time getting value for. And this is a concern when you start getting into the silver stacking, and the gold stacking, and you start trying to get those shiny pieces. Um, when if you're doing this because you do it for you, hey, GDC detecting, good to see you. Or CDG, sorry. Um, if you're doing this just for you, then collect what you like.
Yep.
Mike and Matt were talking about this one coin, and he's like, "Man, I don't know if I should pull the plug. I don't know if I should pull the plug." And he said, "But it just spoke with me, so I did it." And you know what? That is why we collect, right?
That's
We
the best
find
reason
stuff.
to buy a coin, in
Yeah,
my
we
opinion.
we find stuff we like it. But when you're stacking, it's a little bit different because if you're stacking to offset or to counter the effects of inflation, or you're trying to put that as a savings, you need to kind of keep some things in mind. And one of the things you need to keep in mind is if I spend $50 for a piece, am I going to be able to get that back? If I spend $300 for a collectible 2-ounce piece of silver, or $500, we were talking about some of the crazy prices for these things. Are you ever going to get those back? And in most cases, the answer is no.
Right, but if
Whereas
you love it, you have a
if
reason to buy it.
but it depends on what your strategy is.
Sure.
I
That's why I
love
said
all
stacking,
my stuff.
right? That's why you
Well, you
said
know what I'm saying? Some people buy they go buy something, let's just say, a picture for their living room, and it's not expensive, and you spend $50 on it because you love it. Chances are you'll never get it. It's worth $5 or it's actually worth nothing. You're gonna throw it in the garbage when you get rid of it. Uh,
yeah.
you know
So
what I'm
and
saying? There's a lot
Jerry,
coins
you're
could
right.
be
You
like
buy
that
what
too.
you like. You only live once, but
Yeah.
we are still called to be good stewards.
Sure, sure. Now, I'm not
Okay,
talking about
so
just be irresponsible,
yeah.
but there are situations where you just go, "Hey, I really kind of want to have that."
Well, but there's a lot of irresponsible spending in the community.
Yeah.
Okay, and we just you got to say it for what it is. Um, But you have to realize that when you are doing your balance sheet, you can't put what you bought for and expect your kids are going to get that value out of it. You have to put down what the melt value is. You have to put what the anticipated sell value is at the time in which you're doing your sheet. And then you have to put what you've done. Most likely, you're going to yield a net loss immediately,
Always, always.
right? The same thing with comes with, and I love my pours. There's a lot of people that have pours. We collect them because one, we like them, and two, we wanted to support the people that were doing the work.
Yeah.
I've got some pieces from Ringmaster Ray, Big Red Bullion. I've got pieces from Angry Warrior. There's a piece on my picture right here. This is from Supreme Ginger Stacker. He just did this one for me, and this is a really cool piece. It's got the ship in the background. You guys know how I feel about my ships. It's got the little pirate skeleton, chasing off the person who's coming after his booty. Well, not his booty, but the booty that's there on the thing. Um, and so this is number 3. Now I collect the number 3. I like the number 3. And so he poured that, reached out to me and says, I have this. And I paid over for it, obviously, because I'm paying them for their time. Now, this is an acceptable loss for me. I do it because one, Supreme Ginger Stacker, who's up and coming in the pouring, he's doing some really good stuff. I want to support him in that. But I really like the pirate, the ship, and it's something that I have for my own private personal collection. But on
And that's
my
what I'm saying.
sheet, it is 5 ounces of silver.
Right, and
Whatever.
that's what I'm saying. From a personal standpoint,
Yeah,
sometimes you just want something, whether you overpay for it or not. Uh, I mean, I collect pennies, and a lot of people go, "God, what are you going to do with all those pennies?" Well, worst case scenario, my kids can take them back to the bank.
I knew Paula was gonna go pull out her pores when her coins started to I was
Rubber,
like, "Here it
little
comes.
silver rubber ducky.
Rubber ducky, you're the one."
Yeah,
Yeah, what's up, AZ? Good to see you, bud. So, again, we have these things because we like them, and we appreciate them, and I like that trident. I'm gonna have to steal that from you. That's gonna go I'll put it in the hands of my silver stormtrooper. That's a really nice
that's beautiful.
Poseidon? Or is that a mermaid? A mermaid. Okay. Um, but yeah, it's again, you collect what you collect. You collect what you like, but you have to make sure that when you're setting this stuff aside, especially depending upon what your strategy is, you have to make sure that you're being realistic about the expectations about what you're going to get from it after the fact. So if you're keeping a sheet and you're doing that, make sure that you do one, what is the current spot price? Because that's going to be the most telling. What did you pay for it? And then put a difference there. And that'll show you that your gain and your loss on those
It's
particular items.
funny. I
That's
kind of
going
got
to
a
help inform your kids better than just putting down the value.
good story about that. I bought a lot of silver and stuff in the early 2000s, late 90s. And when the silver spike went up, I still couldn't justify selling the dimes because it was like, what am I going to sell them and make, $10 off of a roll? That being said, a roll of silver dimes is worth some money now. And
130 bucks. There's something like 27 times face or something like that. I don't know what the exact number is right
I think
now,
it's
but
even more than that now.
yeah.
And heck, a lot of these, they're all BU dimes, and I paid under $30 a roll for them.
Well, silver broke what, 43?
Yeah, and then it went back down, I think, to 42 something.
Yeah.
Or it was
I think we'll see silver
42.97
drop
or something
again,
like
but
that. Yeah,
yeah. But again,
but
when you're doing that kind of stuff, the whole premise of this is if you're doing this to offset a hedge against inflation, and you're doing that, make sure that you're documenting accordingly because you want to
yeah,
make sure that you're providing them realistic expectations. Paula talks about this when I love your Jack, by the way. Bifrost would be super jelly because she
yeah.
loves Jack Skellington. Um, Yeah, those are cool pieces. Are those big red pieces? Paula?
Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Yes, I was muted. Didn't realize. Yeah, I sent him the molds for these. I love them.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
oh,
let's,
go ahead.
if we're talking realistically, if silver goes much higher,
You're in the black?
these will be melts.
Yeah, exactly. They'll go
As
yeah.
much as as much as I love them, if it gets too high, I cannot afford to keep.
And that was my point
I
with the
don't have
dimes that I
that
was
type
saying,
of, like,
is that
disposable income, so it would be silly of me. And Red, and I love Red, and I know him, and I don't think he would have a single problem with that.
Well, and this goes knowing your strategy, right? Knowing what you have to do and being aware of it. You have to revisit your stack and your collection from time to time and make assessments of
Unless
uh,
somebody wanted to buy them from me.
yeah. Well, now
hint, hint,
again,
nudge,
there.
nudge?
Go ahead, Eric.
I just said hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you saw this vote for Pedro, but John Leslie earlier said that you're going to need a crew to organize your stack. Um, oh yeah, you already seen this. I'm going through chat. I'm a little bit behind. Um, buy a little bit of what you like and a lot of what you need, Jerry. Yeah, that's exactly right. I apologize. I kind of got a little bit behind. I went back. I was still doing auctions. He was constantly getting $100 to $300 an ounce for his pours, and that was when silver was under $20 an ounce. Well, I have a little issue with that. One of the recent statements that he stated kind of set me off. um, People quickly forget that when you do that yourself, you can't call other people out when they do it. And so we had to do a little check with him to bring him back because he was making some statements about things like osmium being a scam. um, and they forget about the silver baggins uh, round that he sold Tiger 2 ounce piece for over $500. So we had to do a check. And remember, people, when you do stuff like that, and people in the community buy that, it's forever etched in the community knowledge. So be careful when you run your mouth about something. Make sure you know who you're talking to. So we had to do a
I
little
must have
quality
missed
control.
something.
Um, yeah, it's more of a stacking world, but
Oh,
it's again, it's one of those things where words matter, right? Words matter, and saying something that you don't understand is a scam is kind of foolhardy. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Just because you would never collect it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It just means that that's not part of your strategy. It just means that that's not part of your portfolio. You do a little bit of research, you'll find some information out. You might change your mind about it. But not every piece is for everyone. This is why, stacking gemstones. You guys know that I collect gemstones. We did a discussion on that. And people were like, well, I'll never collect gemstones because there's no exit strategy. Well, I don't know about you, but I have friends that work in the diamond industry, the fine gemstone industry. There's a number of people that are here. And from a consolidation of wealth, holy smokes, man. I have a couple pieces that are tiny in retrospect to what gold would be, the far surpass gold.
Yeah, it depends on the gemstones.
Right. And so I have one, and Neil Hahn was in here. And when I showed the piece, he's like, oh, that's Alexandrite. Knew exactly what it was. Bam. Immediately. Right.
Right. Now,
And
alexandrite, that is a gemstone that where it comes from matters big
absolutely.
time.
Yeah,
If it's
absolutely.
from Russia, it's worth a lot more money.
Yeah. So this is from one of the main off the Russian steppes. This is one of the main pieces that come from there. I've got the documentation of the mine that it
Yep.
came from. And so provenance matters, just like with some ancient coins, provenance matters.
And if I'm not mistaken, they actually make ma- uh, manufactured Alexandrite, which is
Oh, they
chemically
do. Every gemstone. One of
right.
the big
And
ones.
that's why it's so big of a difference. That Russian Alexandrite's really hard to come by.
Yeah. Um, I got mine 25 years ago, 30 years ago. Um, when I stopped
That's a,
collecting when I stopped collecting coins. Um, but I had an inside scoop to all of this stuff. I had a friend who owned a jewelry and diamond shop.
yeah.
And I worked for him, did little small side jobs, and he taught me a lot about it. And
And I bet you his final word was, "If you ever want to sell it back to me."
well, it wasn't necessarily sell it back to me, but if you ever have questions on how to get rid of it,
Right,
um,
because he's had buyers lined up for it already, probably.
yeah, and you don't have to be a geologist. You
Yeah,
got to just do the same thing that you do. If you don't have a coin shop around your area, take your gold and silver to a jewelry shop and have them test it. They got all the materials.
that's a
Um,
it was a black opal, and
yeah.
for some reason, there's people that'll buy ore because they think that there's going to be a little chip that has this certain sheen to it in there that makes it worth a ton of money.
Um,
Uh, you
yeah,
know,
so
Frank,
opals are fabulous, right?
That does the coins, he does that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
That's all.
so Jerry asks the questions, how liquid are those things? It all depends on two things. Number one, your willingness to engage in that community. Um, I say this all the time. It's not necessarily what you know, but it's who you know. It's understanding who knows where to go to sell it. It's understanding what shops will be willing to buy it. It's understanding how quickly you might be able to release a specific item. This happens with silver, it happens with gold, it happens with numismatics. In our community, where we're all talking about coin collections and stuff like that, we have tons and tons of people in the community who buy and sell. We know people in the community who are coin shop owners. We know people who are bullion dealers. We know people that are. I just interviewed the Anti Counterfeiting Educational Foundation yesterday. That's going to be a great interview. You guys will like that. Having people like that, they're a trusted list of advisors and stuff like that. Making sure you get those connections. Having people like Eric and Paula and Coin Show Podcast and Chuck Daughtry and some of those folks to come alongside of you. We've invested in time. We've invested in energy. And people say, well, silver and gold has a good exit strategy. You know why it has a good exit strategy? It has a good exit strategy because you're in that community. If you want to invest in other precious metals, or you want to invest in bullion, or you want to invest in gemstones, or you want to invest in stamps, or you want to invest in whatever that might be, you have to engage in that community and you have to establish a a exit strategy for anything in which you want to do. If you don't do that, then you have no business collecting that item. You need to look at those things, cultivate those relationships, talk with people, identify what happens. And in my case with the gemstones, um, I have Bill, the guy that I can call and say, "Hey, this is what I have. Where do I go?" He's still connected to gemstone buyers across the globe. I would have no problem getting rid of my collection. Bam, the entire set would probably be picked up in without batting an eye. Why is that? Well, because for years I've cultivated relationships in that particular arena, getting my exit strategy put together. And so when you invest in something, whether it be artwork, I've got a beautiful piece done by an artist that I used to work with by the name of Arnold Freeberg, sitting above my desk, and it's here at Valley Forge. He signed it. On the back of it is the actual color testing that was done when they were actually getting ready to release this. This is the truest form of artist proof. And he signed it, signed a letter for me as I was leaving the company, and gave me this real nice letter of recommendation. If you guys ever want to see it, I can show it to you.
Coach's magic hit it right on the head.
Say that again.
Coach's magic's comment is great.
That's fact. Yeah, and again, but if you want to be engaged, you want to develop an exit strategy, you want to have something become liquid, you have to do the work to find those people to help you do. And again, you guys know I'm about community. I am about having that conversation, about building those relationships. So if you're going to go down any one of these paths, doesn't matter what it is, build those relationships. Build a relationship with a coin shop. Build a relationship with a bullion dealer. Build a relationship with somebody who gemstones. Maybe it's a jeweler. Maybe it's a gemologist. Maybe it's a stone setter. Maybe it's somebody who's engaged in silver and gold manufacturing for jewelry specifically. They have networks of people. Get tuned into those things. But liquidity is only as good as the time that you put in to creating it. So if you're not putting in the time and you're not putting in the effort, and you're not going around talking to people and asking questions, then the liquidity is on you. Why is it not liquid? That's your problem. So gain effort, make a chance to grow it and ask questions and grow your network, and that's how you gain access to liquidity. So, a lot of people just, "Well, it's not liquid." Well, who did you hear say that? Because now you're regurgitating something because you just not engaged. Get engaged, learn more about it, and then make an assessment based off of your research, not somebody else. Um, those are some of the best things you can do. Coach, if you're doing something for investing, you have to have an exit strategy. That's fact. Um, and again, one of the most important things you have to ask yourself is how important is the piece in the situation when it's bad? If we're in a really bad situation, I'm not going to be spending my silver and gold to buy food. Not initially. I'm teaching my kids some fundamentals about survival, how to create a fire, how to hunt. Um, you know,
And do you really believe I know that there was the nomer that a dime is a gallon of gas or a loaf of bread and this and that, silver dime.
no.
Um, but who you're giving that to, I mean, eventually it has to go to somebody that can do something with it,
Well,
or it's just a token.
here's the problem with that premise. And again, I'll turn this time over. I'm kind of talking a lot, and I'm used to you guys talking more than I do on. Um, one of the you guys were supposed to chuckle, by the way.
I did
One
inside.
it's an inside joke. One of one of the concerns that I have when you look at kind of that SHTF is what's your classification of an SHTF? Tiger Stacker and I talk about the personal SHTF. This is when you have a massive health event that causes you not to be able to work and you have to pay your bills. That strategy is different than the be all end all. Oh my God, a solar flare just cooked our electrical grid and
Yeah, we
now we're
have
sitting
nothing
in the
right.
dark ages. I don't stack for the holy catastrophe because the people that are going to survive are the people that know how to live without electricity. They're the people who know how to cook. They're the people who know how
How to
to,
grow their
uh,
food and how to hunt off the land and how to do that, everything else.
yeah, and those are the ones that are gonna really survive. The people who know how to um, take moisture from the air, right, by utilizing tarps and stuff like that, and being able to collect water. Water is going to be one of the most important things that you can have in a serious situation. Um,
You betcha.
And
It
salt,
will be the absolute most important thing you have.
and
yeah,
salt.
and salt. Yeah, well, salt is extremely important because that's how you preserve your meats and stuff, right? And so there are going to be, and if you talk about old Roman times, and Paula, this is a great insight. They used to say that a man was worth his weight in salt. Why did they mean that? Well, because it's a precious commodity. People, we we have it in our little Morton containers, and it sits on our tables. A garnishment, or a seasoning, and we put it in whatever it is. But its preserving powers for meat and other things is got to make sure you understand those elements. So that's a great point. What's up, Swamp Dog? How you doing, bud? Good to see you. Mike, metal detecting. A long time no see. Hope you're doing well. I see Neil come in. Oh man, Invisible just said my favorite word, Elenega. Um, love that man. I actually want to get. We talked about that, Eric, the other day, didn't we?
We did.
Monica.
Yeah. Elenega,
Did you
whatever.
did that ever go any further than our conversation? I think that
Um,
you can get one of those affordably.
yeah, but then I got sidetracked and I started looking at hordes, and I never followed through. There's there's one gold coin that I really want, and I've been fighting with this for quite some time. Do I do it? Do I spend the money? And that is the silver horde. Um,
Binion?
say again?
Binion?
No, 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 not the silver, the gold horde. The silver. Oh, for heaven's sakes! Why am I just went bank. The gold hoard that they believe was from the San Francisco Mint theft. Um, I've got to pull it up because I cannot remember the Saddle Ridge, Saddle Ridge hoard. There is
I've not heard
speculation.
of that.
Say again.
I haven't heard of that.
Oh, so the Saddle Ridge coin is this is a hoard that was found. There was a hoard of gold, um, Cotton's double eagles from San Francisco. They were all estimate marks, and while they haven't confirmed it, they haven't been able to actually prove it. The story that I told you guys about the mint person who was stealing Godden's double eagles to the
Mhm.
tune of $2 million, they never recovered the coins from that. They arrested him. He spent 36 months in jail. After time, got sick and passed away. But um the coins were
Make
never found. And then there was this Saddle Ridge hoard that was found, and it was one of those things where when you look at the information, it kind of just it's kind of weird because they just kind of align. When you're looking at this, they're almost all estimate marks, all from that general time frame. I'm going to um, pull a picture up really quickly if I can get it to open.
I'm gonna go grab a cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries. I'll have to do it. All right, so let me open this up and let me share my screen. All right, so this is the Saddle Ridge hoard, and the Saddle Ridge hoard it's all gold coins from 1881 to 1884, I believe. 1871 to 1884. I can't remember what the number what the years are. Um, but there's a couple of them that are absolutely flawless. They're gorgeous. They range from 61 all the way up to 66. All mint state. Just a fabulous hoard. And they believe now there's not been proof to this, but they believe that the Walter Dimmick, I believe was his name, who had stole these from the San Francisco Mint over a number of years. They never recovered these, and all of a sudden they find this massive hoard, um, and they think it's tied to that particular one. Now, obviously, we're looking at Godden's we're looking at double eagles, the Liberty double eagles here, and you see the 1894s, other ones, a ton of them. They carry a nice little premium because they're a horde. Um, but I love my horde stories. Um, I have done a little bit of a talk on this. I'm going to do a fuller story on the Saddle Ridge horde. But whenever I do a story, I really want to try and um, have the piece in hand. So when I've talked about other ones, I've brought them up. When I talked about Redfield, I brought the Redfield coin out. When I talked about Binion, I brought the Binion coin out. When I talked about the Big Sky Horde, I brought my Big Sky Horde coin out. When I talked about the one that was uh, two coins that I got the other day, I don't remember what the name of the horde was. I pulled that out. I don't always get to have the opportunity to have the coin from that, but this is one that I really would like to have one. And there's $5, $10, and $20 coins. The $5 is the most rare, and actually a couple of them are extremely expensive because there's only 5, I think, or something like that. It's a very, very, very small number. And then the $10, there's a little bit more, but the majority of them are the $20 ones. So that's a hefty price. So again, this is where you go through your stack and you try to determine whether I want to do this or whether I want to work with getting a Dahlonega coin, or Dalenego, whichever way you want it. But yeah, it's an absolutely fabulous horde. Really cool stuff, and some of them are extremely expensive.
So do
Extremely
you
expensive.
remember that seated Liberty pattern coin that
Yeah, I saw Russ posted a post on that.
it came back from the grading company?
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Isn't it?
legit.
Isn't it? It can be yours for like 280,000 or 270.
Something like that.
Yeah,
It
it's
so
yeah, it's a
here's the thing though. If you look at let me see if I can pull it up. The pictures, PCGS's pictures are much better because it's a proof pattern. But in the pictures that we saw, it did not look like a proof. But I know I do. Hang on. I know. I gotta wait. I love this this, what is it, third party whatever, I don't know, that Facebook has to do. It's ridiculous. But it's a safety thing. Hang on.
oh yeah, I hate that. Um, they posted it on a couple different things. It's on their site.
Yeah,
There's a
I'll
media
find it.
thing.
I'm getting it.
Yeah. Um,
I'll just go to Russ's page. Get over here.
hey, vote for Pedro. You need to go check out Harlan J. Burke. They just dropped a new Nero Arias. That's a really nice coin. You'll have to look at doing that. And they also did a Syracuse Decadrachmum. Nice little coin, only 41 grand, in case you're interested.
Alrighty.
Oh, holy smokes, some of the values of the
So it's down below. There it
got
is.
you.
There it is.
She's a beaut. And again, what we're looking at here, 1863, the motto didn't happen until 1865, and so this is a pattern coin.
Yeah, it's and some lady brought it in. I can't remember if they said that she had it mixed in with some foreign coins or something.
There was a
And,
whole
It was a
series
grandpa
of
collection.
coins
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
pretty hefty duty collection. She had
Okay.
the Godden's Double Eagle,
Yeah, she had the
1909
coin
wire
from
rim.
Max, B Max Mel.
Yeah. So
Too.
she had
Wow.
they had the original sell certificate sheet and all that stuff with it too. So these are things that
Yeah.
were passed down by her grandmother. Um, the story that Russ told was that She had these in a backpack under her bed. That's where they had hidden these. And the dollar amount was ungodly for what she had in her collections. Uh, really cool story, but absolutely amazing coin. And good on Russ for catching this.
Yeah, right?
Because initially they thought this was going to be counterfeit. So,
Well, I think initially he went in the back to get a price on it, on an 1863 seated half or something like that, and then he came rushing back to the front, and he's like, "Hang on, let me take another look at that thing."
yep. And
And then he realized it was a pattern.
Platinum Maple, spicy Mike Nodelman is still spicy. Yes, indeed.
He is a spicy fella.
He's a good dude. I'm sure we'll, he popped in last night. I'm surprised she's not here, but I kept him up too late. He's probably still kicking back on his patio drinking coffee. So, but yeah, fabulous coin. And again,
Fantastic, yeah.
what you're looking at,
Congratulations to her and them and Russ and everybody who had anything involved in this because they just boosted the census for this. They added to the census, plus one.
yep. And again, cool stuff. While you were looking there is the In God We Trust. That model wasn't added until 65. So, um, went back, looked at it, and said, "Hey, hold on a minute. I will see if I can find the Harlan J. Burke item, and we can send that. If you can post the link to that in chat, I would appreciate it.
The link to what?
That PCGS listing that you just showed. If
I
anybody
got it on
wants to go
Russ.
look at it.
It's on Russ's page, so they, unless they're friends with them, I don't know that they would be able to see it.
Well,
Well, the
let me look
PCGS
for it.
link is there.
Hold
You
on.
could go to PCGS, right?
Well, yeah, they can just. Okay, hang on. 5397654.
Oh, and you know what else I want you to talk about? I want you to talk about my faux pas yesterday and why the thing that I released was wrong.
Ah, I was
Seriously,
lame.
it was a learning point for me.
Come on.
Hang on a second. 539. Did somebody post it yet? No, I'm being lazy.
Quote
Sorry.
for Pedro says, "It makes me wonder how many more backpacks under beds like that one exist. I'm sure there's quite a few." One thing that Mike was talking about, he's like, I don't know if you know the Chicago area, but anything that looks like it might hold valuables is a target should somebody break into your house. And he was like, a lot of people are going to be looking in, looking for safes. They're going to be looking for uh,
I
dresser
don't have
drawers. They're going to be
that
looking
open.
inside your little vanities and stuff like that. And so people get creative about where they hide stuff. In that scope, I think Plumber Stacker had one really cool story in which he was repairing the plumbing on a house that somebody had bought, and there was a pipe, and in this pipe, it didn't look right. It was like it's kind of out of place. It was a PVC pipe that went from the top to the bottom, but there was no hole cut in the top portion of the sink, and there was no hole cut in the bottom portion of this. And he's like, I don't even know that this thing's connected. And when he moved it, he actually found that that pipe was full of Morgan dollars. And somebody had filled that up and then utilized that as a place to hide it. And obviously, they sold the house, and the person who sold it either forgot about them or didn't know about it. They reached out. I think they were able to get the actual owners and get those back into the hands of the actual owners. But yeah, there's thanks, Eric. Appreciate you dropping that link. Um, there's a lot of stories like that. So I'm sure that other people have that stuff out there.
Yeah, my son found bags of junk silver up in somebody's uh, crawl space attic when he was putting in a heating system for them. They had no idea. It wasn't theirs, it was a previous owner's, and, obviously, it was theirs now, but, yeah, that was a pretty little payday for them.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I bet. Um, but again, these stories are the ones that are fun, right? Somebody catching this and looking at those items and being able to find those. So this is one reason that I love numismatics the way that I do. I'm more about the stories. I love the stories. I love hearing about these things, and they're really cool. I'm trying to find more and bring you guys more stuff. I like that feather.
This was a gift to me from Ken Peavy. It was he SJ's Mixed Adventures poured this.
Did he give it to you prior to starting the conversation or at the end?
Alright.
I'm
I
just
don't know what. Oh, yeah, I have some special ones.
well,
This
you
one's
guys had
really
you guys had some very, 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 very long conversation.
Oh, yes, we did, about
Yeah.
stupid stuff. Anyway, did you want me to talk about what did you want me to talk about?
So yesterday I released a short about a coin
Oh,
that doesn't show up on PCGS as being what it says it is, but ends up being that
mm,
it's actually authentic. You wanna talk about that?
mhm. So I don't know how many of you saw it, I don't know if you still have a picture of it, you could bring it up, but, it was an error coin. It was a, cent struck on a clad
Oh,
dime. Huh?
I think I saw it on Facebook, possibly.
Yeah, a cent struck on a clad dime planchet. And he wasn't wrong in doing what he did because a lot of people wouldn't have known this. When he looked it up on PCGS, to verify it, it didn't exactly say what it said on the slab. So it said it was just a 1 cent brown, Lincoln cent. And the thing you have to be careful about is that oftentimes I'll give PCGS the benefit of the doubt, and I'll just give the grading companies the benefit of the doubt and say that it's not as frequent as it really is, but the database is not correct. So when you look a cert number up, oftentimes the what they have inputted into the database is incorrect as opposed to the slab being incorrect. So the error coin and the slab and everything was legit and it was correct. What was in the database on PCGS was incorrect.
I'm gonna pull that up right now. I'm sharing
Okay.
this screen. Um,
And
eh
and you wouldn't know that. If you're not an error person and hadn't seen this, and this particular error happens to be kind of one that is more common for it to happen.
yeah,
Um,
so here was the coin. So it's an MS-61 struck on a 10-cent clad planchet. Now, when you come over and you enter the number into PCS, it just says that it's a 1 cent red. It doesn't tell you that it's an error coin. It doesn't tell you that it's struck on a dime planchet. It basically just gives you this information. So
Now
if you're
scroll
looking,
down. Can you scroll down more on that page? Just scroll
I'm not on the
down.
page. I'm actually
Oh,
on
you're
the
not on the
video.
page. Okay, I'm
Yeah, so
sorry.
I only have what I have here. But it doesn't actually do it. Now, if you click on Coinfax takes you to the 1965 um, 1 cent
1 cent,
coin.
right.
It doesn't take you to an error coin. Now,
So let
normally
me
when you have an error like this and you click on it, it'll take you to that specific coin. This one doesn't. And so without having the details of exactly what was going on, this is really interesting. Now,
so
the
I'll show you
company
something. Can you give me the number of that real quick?
yeah,
And I'll show you guys something.
284-2636.
2636.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
And I know that
Oops.
you guys that are on, hey, what's up, Kraken? Good to see you.
Is it not? No, I think, hang on. 286
284
284
2636.
2636. Okay. Okay. So let me share my screen real quick.
So this is where understanding and talking with people, this is a mistake that I made. This is a learning experience for me, just as well as it is for you guys. And I wanted to talk about this because these things happen from time to time. And when we identify and discover these things, it's important that you share this. And so this is something that I made a mistake on, but you'll understand why as we look at this.
At the very bottom of this page, there's a little thing here that so they know what's going on. And it says data entry errors occasionally may occur, causing the information on the coin holder to differ from the PCGS database. If the information listed above appears to be incorrect, please contact PCGS customers. So if one of you guys wants to do them a favor and contact PCGS customer service and let them know what's going on with this coin, I'm sure they would be greatly appreciative.
Yeah. So again, this is where,
because they don't like to make mistakes
yeah,
either.
and
And
we're
it
all
happens.
infallible, right? And I have zero problem saying that I made a mistake in this, and I actually pulled the short down. I'm going to redo it. I still have the stuff. I'm going to re-record it. I pulled the other one down. Um, but I'm going to be pulling this down because the question that I was asking is this an amazing scam? Well, I can still utilize this exactly as it stated, but what I need to do is it's like, this is where you need to validate and verify. Um, but in this particular case, because the information is wrong in PCGS, you can't validate this coin. You would need to know the history of it or know somebody who does. And so there's an opportunity for just like the mistake that I made, which is, hey, this is real, but by all accounts, I can't find the information to prove that it's real. So again, it's what you know, understanding the history of things, understanding that there are situations in which this occurs. And what I should have done is something that I did not do. I wanted to get it out because I had to release this again to kind of meet my own desired quota of output. I should have said, "Hey, Paula, hey Jack, have you guys seen this before? What are your thoughts on this?" And had them say, because she very quickly come back and said, "Hey, by the way, FYI, that's actually authentic. I can tell you exactly what's." If I would have just followed up and validated and verified the information, I wouldn't have had to have done that. And again, we're all fallible. But what did I do? I immediately pulled this down and said, I have to change it. I have to correct it, make sure the right information's out there before I release that. So I do make mistakes. We all do make mistakes from time to time. And making mistake is not a problem. It's just learning from whatever it was. So I wanted to share this with you and have Paula explain what happened because, again, I really appreciate the fact that her knowledge is um, has really poured a lot of information into me. I just want to say thanks again.
But I will say that it is always best to err on the side of caution. So if you come across something like that and there is an issue, um, don't buy the coin until you can, figure it out.
Yeah.
These are not cheap errors. They're not super expensive. Certain dates are more scarce than others, but you don't want to throw a couple $100 into something and you know it turned out
Especially
to
with the
be
prevalence of counterfeit coins and
yeah,
counterfeit slabs and everything that's going
yeah.
on. So,
Yeah.
again, but due diligence. But again, I wanted people to understand, you know, people make mistakes and it's not a problem. I don't mind acknowledging the fact that I make mistakes. And I definitely don't have a problem removing something when I find out I did. But you will be seeing this. It'll have the proper information. And we'll talk about, hey, just because you have these situations like this, reach out to people and ask. Um, but again, err on the side of caution. So I just wanted to say thanks again to Paula for pointing that out to me. Um,
Well, you know me.
I do. And
On
as
my
much as
deathbed, and I'm sending him a message.
yeah,
No, I
she's
wasn't
like,
on my
I am
deathbed.
extremely sick and I feel absolutely horrible. But by the way, that short was wrong.
By the
Um,
way.
But I admire that because it helps me to, and I'm not saying not look like a fool because I make mistakes. And you guys, you have to remember, how long have I been doing this? Not very long, right? And so it's not a matter of me knowing all the information. I didn't do what I preach. And because of that, I need to share that with you all and let you guys know that, you know, validate and verify. These are things to check with those people, the trusted sources. Um, a simple phone call would have alleviated that video ever being sent out. So again, right, validate and verify, check those things, reach out to those sources, utilize the sources that we have available to us. That's definitely going to help you from making foolish mistakes. Well, cool. Well, hey, it
Well,
is.
if anybody is gonna be in Grants Pass today, if you anybody, highly doubt it, but I'm just putting it out there. If anybody wants to come out to Grants Pass, there's a coin show. Um, there's gonna be some like West Coast Coins will be there. They're a real big dealer. I don't know if Oregon Stacker will be there or not, but if you're coming out, let me know. Shoot me an email or something, and maybe we'll have lunch or something.
That's always good. So I'll tell you guys what I'm doing today. Do any of you guys know Check Stacker? You guys know who that is?
Oh,
So we are going to Worstfest today, and I am going to be streaming live Check Stacker's discussion on Bohemian coin stamps and things from that genre. He is
hmm.
Czechoslovakian, has a lot of period specific elements. He's actually going to be going on at noon. Unfortunately, I have some things that I have to take care of and won't be there for the first one. So I'm going to be doing this around 3:30 to 4 o'clock, somewhere in that time frame, um, Central this afternoon. I'm going to go take everything set up, get him all mic'd up, and then I'm going to stream his talk. So not the Bohemian Rhapsody, Bohemian coinage. There's a couple cool coins. He gave me the name of one of them, and I can't pronounce it. I said it to Eric, and he's like, "You got to say that like you're angry."
Right?
So, uh, but he'll be able to explain it, and he'll be able to say what those things are. But that's going to be coming later today. So I'm really looking forward to hanging out with Chuck Stacker and his wife, and going down and getting some um, sausage and sauerkraut, and have myself a cool one, and go listen to some polka and stuff like that. Vote for Pedro. Thanks for putting that in there. Um, but last night in our discussion, came on, gave me all the information. I told him that I would do that for him. So um, that's that's happening today. So you guys pay attention to that one. And again, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Go check out Check, and I'm looking forward to that. It should be a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yeah, fun stuff. What's
Fun
on your
stuff.
guys' schedule for today?
Sorting coins.
Nice.
Any reveals today?
Nope, I am done with reveals for the next about almost 2 weeks. I'm taking next week off so I can do some work around my house. I have to have my septic field replaced, so got lots going on.
Oh,
Hello.
Is Ashes watching? Is Ashes here? Ashes, if you're here, do me a favor and say hi.
He was here.
Yeah, he was here earlier.
Yeah, well, he sucks.
Ah,
He just sent me a picture and says, "My gold collection," and he sent me half eagles from Carson City, Denver, Dahlonega, uh, Philadelphia, New Orleans, Charlotte, and he's like, Here's my collection."
you
And then
know,
he took a really nice picture of a Charlotte and a Dahlonega coin. Rotten bastard.
it's
Um,
funny because something that we never really talk about that I know I suffered with in the beginning of my like coin collecting journey was keeping up with the Joneses. I had a real problem with that. I wanted to, if somebody got something and I liked it,
You
I
went and got
wanted,
it.
I would go try to find it and buy it. And then
yeah.
I had a real like jealousy issue and wanted to keep up with the Joneses. And people need to be something that isn't really talked about ever, but I think is maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe
Oh,
I'm
no.
just
No, 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 no. It's not just you, I can promise you
but
that.
I see it happening a lot. And I often, and I don't know that that's what's happening, but I often wonder, like, oh, did that person really want that, or did they just buy it because somebody else had it? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, and so you guys know that I'm doing the, "Hey, what's up, Chappie? Good to see you, bud."
man, I had a
Um,
real problem with that.
you guys know that I'm doing and it's been I've slowed down a little bit because there's just not many people watching the series, but it was the half dollar series, and I'm still putting videos out. I just put one out last week on, Arkansas, and I'm just about to
Keep doing
finish
those.
the next one. And so he has an amazing commemorative half dollar collection. Amazing. And it's very easy when you see that to go, man, I wanna have something like that. But I've learned over the last year that when I start to get into that thing of, "Ooh, I need to get one of those. Ooh, I'd like to have one of those,"
Mm-hmm.
that I need to go look at the entire set. And I quickly realized that there's this thing called the Panamanian, no, and there's 5 coins in that set, and 2 of them 'em I'll never own, ever. I'll never, ever, ever in my lifetime be able to complete that set, and that is the 2 $50 gold. One is the octagonal.
Oh, you're talking about the octagonals? Yeah.
So so why would I never be able to collect that? Well, they're a good $250,000 a piece.
Yeah.
Right, and so, one thing that I've learned when looking at, "Oh, that's really cool, I need to have that," is to go look at the set and find out what it's gonna cost me to complete that set, and very quickly I go, "Oh, yeah, that's not really." Now, there are certain ones. Oh, yeah, I got, actually got somebody that's gonna talk about, their Stella, how they had
Oh,
one, and why they sold theirs,
favorite
and
coin.
why they're seeking a new one now. I do have,
Would
some,
that be Azure?
that would be Azure.
You
And so we've
know,
talked to him, and he's gonna be talking about some stories. We're gonna bring him
I
out for some.
saw a coin yesterday that I think I love as much as the Stella.
Ooh,
It's not a coin ever intended to be, made or for circulation or anything. It was, I think it was just a Charles Morgan pattern coin, but it was called a schoolgirl dollar. Look up the Charles Morgan schoolgirl dollar.
okay.
It is absolutely stunning.
I like the flowing hair invisible. I like the coiled hair, but the flowing hairs, I like that one better.
Yeah, I like the
Um,
flying here too.
but the Stella is an amazing coin. This is something that, Paul and I definitely share when it comes to our top
Mhm.
5 coins. The Stella is definitely there. Um But I love pattern coins, but Paul has also introduced me to something that you've gotta be careful in, and these are the potty dollars.
Potty dollars.
Those are
They're
cool.
not just on dollars either, you can find them on dimes and they're just
Yeah.
crazy.
Those
Yeah,
things maybe we can talk we haven't done that for a long time. Maybe that's what tomorrow will be. You wanna
those
do
are
some
fun.
let's do some
Potty
pattern
talk?
stuff.
Oh, pattern stuff, darn.
Well, it's
What were you
not
gonna
a
say?
I says, "You mean potty talk?"
Well, no, like,
potty talk.
uh, looking at just different things that people do with coins, like coin art.
Mhm, mhm.
Let's look at some of uh, the modified coins, and I don't wanna call them hobos because, hobos had a very specific context within relation to nickel and, the time frame in which they were produced. They still make them, but they're not they're artists or renditions of them. Some people still maintain the original style, but there's some amazing things. But these potty dollars, oh my gosh, they make me laugh.
Oh,
Every time I
love
see one, I'm like,
tokens, potty
"I have
dollars,
got to get
pumpernickel.
one of these."
Art on coins is amazing.
Yeah. You want is that
If
you
you
guys
ever
up
wanna
for talking about that tomorrow?
yeah, for
Sure.
sure.
Alright, well, let's do that. We'll talk about art on coins tomorrow. Well, I've done this once before. There was a lot of stuff. I'll pull some photos down. Unfortunately, I don't have all the photos that I showed
I'll
before
try to
because I
pull some
lost
stuff out that I have.
a majority of that stuff, but, I don't have very many of them. I do have, a couple of the new hobo nickels. They're kind of the
Mhm.
dime a dozen. I have one hobo nickel that's a little bit more expensive. It's not one of the higher end ones. But we'll talk about um, the Hobo Association and the nickel group that does that and get that in. I've also got a gentleman. I need to coordinate a time to get him. He's confirmed to do this. He's an Instagram uh, kind of host and has some really cool um, um, design things that he's done, like very intricate gear based pop-up
He was in
coins
your
and
chat
stuff.
before.
Again,
He was in your chat
he's been
before.
in chat,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
wait, I need to
Yeah,
get back with
he's
him.
in the Hobo Nickel group on Facebook.
Yeah,
Mhm.
very talented, very
What
talented.
what's his name? I can't remember.
I'll go pull this stuff up, but I need to have him on. There I get squirreled. There's so much stuff to do, with work and family and trying to do this that I've got so many things in the mix. I lose them. I need to be better organized about that. But he does amazing work, and I need to find out. Maybe I can reach out to him and see what his availability to send me some photos, and I can share some of that stuff. But he very talented. But yeah, he's come into the stream twice, as a matter of fact.
I think the last time we were talking about hobo nickels, he came in.
Yeah. So I'll reach out to him and tell him we're going to talk about it tomorrow and have him come back in, and I'll give him a wrench and he can post links and stuff like that. Fun stuff. Cool beans. Well, hey, folks, I've got some stuff I've got to get done, so I'm going to head out.
Have a great
Again,
day,
Yeah,
everybody.
have a great day, everybody. See y'all soon.
sometime
Bye.
between 3:30. See you later, Paula. See you later, Eric. Sometime between 3:30 and 4 o'clock Central. Stay tuned for my live. We're going to be doing the discussion that is being held by Czech Stacker on Bohemian silver and stamps and some of those other collectibles. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. Again, just to support another channel, but hope you guys come over. If you're new to the channel and you liked some of the stuff that you've heard, you're interested in learning more, or you have questions, exclamation point email. That will pull up my email. Send your suggestions. If you want to hear about a specific topic or you want to learn about something, put something in chat. Go ahead and talk about it. Robert Pintoff, what's up, bud? How are you? Um, Always good to see you in the streams. Appreciate you being here. But yeah, so if you have any questions, comments, you want to do that, make sure you're subscribing and hit that notification bell Again, anytime you're in a live stream, exclamation point email will pull up just what David Carlisle did. You'll see my Frostbyte stuff there, and then I list my Frostbyte coins at gmail.com. Send me your guys' requests. Let me know what you're interested in learning. I'll do the research and then I'll put something together for you. All right, folks. I appreciate you guys. Um, I just got an email from the ACEF who said, I appreciated your session yesterday. It was so much fun. And she's sending me some items to help with editing the video. If you guys don't know who the Anti Counterfeiting Educational Foundation is, go check out acefonline.org. A lot of great information if you want to know about counterfeits. And then I will be releasing a video on that here in the next week or so. All right, folks. Love you guys. Thank you so much for all you've done. As always, Paul and Eric, thank you so much for your support. Folks, smash that thumbs up on your way out if you would. I definitely appreciate it.